Good afternoon. Time check. It is 11 minutes after after 12 this fine Saturday morning. Today being the 29th day of November 2025. Welcome to 16 Days of Activism. Day 16 on Women Radio 91.7 FM. The 16 Days of Activism is a specialized program where we get to raise awareness, mobilize action, and call for the prevention and elimination of all forms of violence against women and girls worldwide. This broadcast started on Tuesday, the 25th of November 2025 to the 10th of December 2025. And for the next 16 days, well, we are on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, day 5, we're going to be having these conversations. So do well to join in the conversation by contributing or reacting to us on this show. Call us on 07000 or send us a text at 0703 1756 537. All right, my name is Fumi Bangala, and today on day 5 of the 16 days of activism, we're turning the spotlight on ending digital violence. We'll be looking at the progress made so far, the gaps that still exist, and the crucial next steps needed to create safer online spaces, especially for women and for girls. We're going to be talking solutions, accountability, and the power of collective action. Joining me today is Irene Igomo from Girls Education Access Initiative. Good afternoon, Irene. Hello, Irene. Can you hear me? You are muted. You're still muted.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can. Good afternoon. How are you doing?
Good afternoon. I'm fine, thank you. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. Thank you for doing this with us. It's such a pleasure and delight that you're doing this with us.
You are welcome. You're
Okay.
welcome.
Before we start, how are you looking forward to December? Any plans for Christmas?
Not Christmas per se, but I do have plans for December, and I'm really looking
Hey,
forward to it.
hey,
Dirty December.
All right, let's get into it. Digital spaces
Okay.
are, they were created to connect us as human beings, but for millions of women and girls, these same spaces have been used as tools of fear, harassment, and abuse. According to the UN Women, nearly 38%, beg your pardon, of women worldwide have experienced online violence. I'm talking cyber stalking, non-consensual image sharing, online threats, impersonation, targeted hate speech. The list is endless. And because digital violence happens behind the screens, the survivors suffer in silence because how can you say somebody did something to you online? So we see a lot of young girls and women, they are feeling anxious, they are depressed, they are withdrawing from opportunities, damaged reputations, and the impact is real, like I said. So in some cases, these threats sometimes escalate into offline violence. So on today's program, we're focusing on ending digital violence. So Irene, as an organization working to
Mhm.
protect women and girls online, what specific programs or interventions do you provide to support survivors of digital violence?
Okay, thank you for that question. So, one of the things that we do at GAI is to educate girls because we agree that there's need to educate people on online safety. Most people focus on offline safety and don't know that people are still abused and people are still feel threatened online. So we educate girls on online safety. We have our daughter community is Karumajiji community. So
Okay.
we have some girls there, and then we have done like digital literacy programs for them to teach them
Okay.
how to use digital tools safely. There's something I always like to say that the internet does not forget.
No,
So
no. Mhm.
we always try to teach these girls how to use digital tools safely. We
Okay.
also educate them that there's something called footprints. So we also
Mm.
have like awareness campaigns online. We have a genderish podcast where we discuss stereotypes and the likes. So
Mhm.
many people don't realize that maybe they feel because it's online, it doesn't have anything to do with stereotypes
Yeah.
and all. But we take our offline behavior online. So we highlight these issues on our genderish podcast and
Mhm.
discuss them. So those are some of the programs and the interventions that we do to support survivors. And we also have referral pathways. So it's not just for offline. If we There are some of our beneficiaries online, maybe not even in Nigeria, who may have experienced something like this. We connect them for psychosocial support and also to organizations who can provide safe spaces for them or mental health support. Thank you.
Okay. I love what you're saying. But then at the same time, does your organization play a role in advocating for stronger digital safety laws and policies? Because if somebody came to me physically, right, and was abusing me or harassing me or was trying to, assault me physically, I would take them to the police station straight up.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yes.
online, are there laws, safety laws, or policies that protect women and girls in online spaces?
To be honest, I wouldn't say that I have seen those laws
Okay.
that protect women. I think there may be laws like privacy, safety settings for like everybody, but
Mm,
nothing particularly for women. And before now, we haven't really specifically advocated for safe online use for women. But because of these 16 days of activism, it has spotlighted and brought out to light the need to
yeah.
increase advocacy efforts in this
Yeah.
area.
Yeah.
So it's this year's team just showed us that there are areas that we have overlooked. There are
Yeah.
areas that we need to also include in our advocacy efforts. There are areas that we need to be focused on that we are neglecting.
Okay. Very, very true.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of women are unaware of digital safety practices, and you sort of touched on it earlier. Does your organization run maybe any training or capacity building programs that are dedicated to digital literacy, online protection, not just for women, but even for young girls? Like, oh, you had mentioned, oh, the internet never forgets, you have a digital footprint, but does your organization even move a step further to training people, maybe in schools, in organizations, etc.?
We have done something as part of our CSE and sensitization and training for some of our girls. We have done digital literacy and financial literacy. But in the coming months, in January, we have like a project coming up where we want to mentor girls because
Okay.
in that program we would have like different areas where the girls might be interested in. So it is whichever area that they want to, and digital safety, digital use of digital tools is going to be one of those areas. So because the world is going global and most of the things we do now are online. So
Yeah.
we want to train girls, we want to mentor girls or even boys because we know that the internet is not only used by girls alone,
Yes.
but for the sake of like I mentioned in my last response, 16 days of activism has highlighted a lot of things. It has exposed so many things this year,
Yeah.
16 days of activism. So we have a mentorship program that will be coming
Okay.
up next year where
Okay.
we will focus solely, it won't just be a part of what we want to do. It will be a focus. Digital
Mhm.
literacy will be one of our core focus areas for that intervention.
Okay. Thank you so much for that. And I'm particularly excited that you said that because what we need really is education. What we need are the tools to help us
Mhm.
prevent, digital violence, to make sure that we're doing the right thing. I mean, a lot of times when they say, oh, a girl was assaulted, there's always slack, flack. They give the girl flack that, oh, what was she dressed like,
Mhm.
what was she saying, and things like that. But at the same time, even though we know that that's the world that we live in, and we know that before we get to the point where they're not blaming the victim, it go take before we reach that level. But at least, and my sister, but at least let's give our young girls, our women, the tools to be able to know that this is how I should behave online, so that I'm not
Mm.
at a risk of you know, falling victim to such behaviors, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. One of the things that affects a lot of women when they experience
Mhm.
assault of any kind or violence of any kind, actually, this, let's start with physically, is shame. There's that shame of, oh my gosh, what happened? Like, somebody violated me. And then there's the fear of not being believed. How
Mm.
much more if we now move it to digital? Because it'll be like, people do, that one another thing now. People they troll each other online. That's what they say. But how can we tackle these societal and cultural stigmas that prevent survivors from seeking help when the abuse happens online? I know that, I mean, your response can be for either, because maybe somebody listening will be like, oh, maybe I'm not online, but maybe I can borrow some of these tools for offline. Please go ahead.
So I think one of the things that we can do is to okay, we can okay. I think software companies, all these tech companies now should really be like one of the center of attention for this initiative, because the common man just is the user. They are not like, they don't see the back end and the likes.
Yeah.
So for a girl who is being harassed online, we okay, and you know, the common man, of course, in Nigeria, we don't have the tools to go and look for
Oh yeah.
those people, or
Hmm.
the only thing we can do is to take it to the government, take it to the police, and then some of these cases even go unsolved and then
Unsolved.
closed after
Yes.
some time. So one of the ways I think we can tackle this is to work with tech companies, to work with developers, designers,
Mhm.
to ensure that it's either to maybe location services can help track those people, and then ensure that maybe there are stringent laws put in place for perpetrators. Because if we had very strict rules, strict laws, or very elaborate punishments, people would want to avoid some certain things. I
Yeah.
see that in Nigeria, if a common man does something, like it's not so hard to get them picked up. So if we can have laws or have rules in place where if you do, and the thing is, people just feel like because it's online, it did not harm you physically.
Yeah.
So that's one of the reasons why they
Yeah.
just want to ignore it or drop it. But you don't know how that thing has affected the victim psychologically. These
Yeah.
things can lead to suicide, it can lead to depression, and many more things. So if we can have stringent rules put in place for perpetrators, things that, if you do this, this is what will happen. And then people see that the government is following these things. I feel like there will be a reduction. And then more girls will come out to also report.
To
And
speak.
also sensitization, just
Yeah.
like we have been mentioning before, on how to safely use these tools. And then it's still, you don't just go online. I think the girls also have a responsibility to play, or like the users have a responsibility to play. You are meeting a stranger, you are meeting someone, you don't even know how they might have access to maybe a back end or something.
Hmm.
You have to be careful the kind of information you put out there. You have to be
Hmm.
careful the kind of content you share. In
Hmm.
this day and age, everybody are content creators, but
Hmm.
we need to be very responsible with the kind of things that we put out there, just for our own sanity and for our own safety.
Hmm. Oh, 100%. I agree with you. And even social media companies, I remember that maybe some years ago, you couldn't say, even now, till now, you couldn't say certain things online. Like, you
Mm,
can't say rape when because it will be flagged. So I think that
yes,
social media platforms should also take it a step further, so that when they see that there's somebody is writing things that are, are violent
I
against
agree.
women,
I agree. Of course, if
that,
we can ask AI to adopt a certain tone, like be friendly,
oh,
be
yeah,
professional, it should be able to pick a hostile tone
oh,
too.
yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. I agree with you. Yes,
Mhm.
and hopefully, I mean, they're listening to us today, and this is some. I know that this is also something that is at the front of UN Women. So hopefully, what would be seeing results in the nearest future, not too far, in the nearest future. Let's talk.
Hopefully.
Hopefully, regaining confidence before we go, because I mean, anybody who's been harassed in any sort of way typically goes back into their shell because of the shame, like we mentioned, and the
Mm,
fear. But for you, what's for your organization, what strategies do you use to empower survivors to reclaim their confidence online again, to reclaim their freedom, to feel safe again online?
Number one, mentorship.
Hmm.
No, mentorship, like you, psychosocial support. We have knowledge, like educating the person. If you mentor someone into, okay, like for instance, we have some mental health organizations out there. If we come across somebody like this and we connect you to these mental health people, it's
Mhm.
just like a psychologist walking you through those challenges and letting you see that there are positive things to using digital tools. There are also
Mhm.
cons, there are also pros, I beg your pardon. And I
Mhm.
think the internet is a huge marketplace.
It
We cannot
is.
just hide away from it. So you need to mentor this person to see other potentials that
Yeah.
internet can provide for them, social media can provide for them. So that's there. Good step by step psychological support for that victim,
Yeah.
because I don't think in Nigeria, honestly, I used to feel like we don't have psychologists here, because I think those things are mostly more prevalent in the Western world. Because
Well,
when things happen here, you might be speaking to a psychologist and feel like you are being judged in the process. So
100%.
we need to also do a capacity building, or ensure that our psychologists are well trained and they
Yes.
have the right certifications to be able to speak to victims. So
Yes.
when we do that, then teach these girls, educating them how to properly use because knowledge is power. When you give someone that adequate knowledge that makes them feel like, okay, I'm versed in this subject, I know everything I need to know about this,
Mhm.
they'll feel powerful to use that tool.
I agree.
So those
I
are some
100.
of the ways. Yes.
Yes, I agree. Oh, thank you so much, Irene, for coming on this show today. I've learned so much, and I'm so excited to see that your organization is also doing the work for women, because we need all hands on deck. All hands on
Mm.
deck. We cannot afford to, you know, to just leave it lying now, because as women, I believe that we should be at the forefront. So many many thanks to you for coming on the show. Is there something that you'd
Thank
like to
you.
say, one final word that you would like to say?
All I can say is GEAI, that's Girls Education Access Initiative. We remain committed to ensuring that girls and women stay safe online and offline. Thank you.
Okay, I thought you were going to say something more. Thank you so much, Irene, for coming on
Yeah,
the
looking
show.
forward to December. Maybe you can invite me for your own dirty December
My
version
own this
too.
is December. Thank you so much for coming on the
All
show.
right. Thank you so much. It was fun
Alrighty.
hanging out with you. Thank
Yes,
you.
yes, it was.
All right.
In conclusion, ending digital violence requires intentional action, stronger safeguards, and a collective commitment to protecting women and girls in online spaces. As we continue
Mm.
these 16 days of activism, it's important that we continue to challenge harmful behaviors, we promote digital safety, and ensure that survivors receive the support that they need to be able to reclaim their voices online. Together, me and you and I, we can create a safer digital world, where every woman, every girl can connect, express themselves without fear of harassment or threats or abuse.
Mm.
Once again, special thanks to our guest this afternoon, Irene Gomo from Girls Education Access Initiative.
Thank
All
you.
right. And many thanks to the program's team of Women Radio for putting this together. And to the executive producer, Tomu Kewale Shanaya. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. I am Fumi Bangala. We still have amazing shows for you on Women Radio this weekend. Great music to keep you company. If you not go for Owambe, don't worry, we got you covered over here at Women Radio. Enjoy the rest of your day and happy new month in advance.